Today we are going to talk about the ancient, secret Chinese wisdom of Mise and how it holds all of the secrets of the world. No, I'm playing. That's actually a French cooking term, but it's still really, really cool and has the power to change your life. Let's talk about it.
The Creator Podcast.
My name is Dion Williams, aka Dion Does, and I truly believe that we were all created in the image of the ultimate creator, and therefore it's in us all to create. And this show aims to help you and I both level up in this four-dimensional game of life so that we can go out and create for good, whether that's for ourselves, our family, the community around us, but all of this a part of a generational vision of a family of creators coming together to be the difference. Creator fam, how you living? How's your mama? Hope you guys are blessed. Mise en place. I don't say it is cool. I'm kind of saying it right if you know the term of mise en place. But it sounds, so many people say it like cooler than me. And especially if you have like an accent or you're from France, you say it so much cooler and I'm a little bit jealous, but it's all good. So what is mise en place? Which really isn't the principle for today. It's more just, I'm going to share it with you, but the principle that I want to talk about is about clutter. All right, the clutter that we hold in our minds, the clutter that we actually hold emotionally, even the physical clutter that around you, right? Could be your desk, your room, your house, your car, clutter, and the power of removing that. And I may touch on simplicity a little bit, which is a little bit different. A lot of this is all part of the same stuff. I like to hit things from different angles, which we've talked about, because depending on the listener and the season that they're in and what they got going on, I may talk about clutter and things related to clutter 8 different times in the podcast. And the 8th time, you're like, oh, ding, 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 that makes sense. And you really act on it and put it in your life. And I've seen this over and over again. We all learn different. We all are in different seasons. We all have different personalities. We all have different backgrounds and environments that we're in. And so, some episodes, they going to hit you and it's going to shake you to your core. On a scale from 1 to 10, you're like, whoa, this was it. It changed my life. And then the next day, it might tickle you a little bit. Like, whoo, okay. Why I had to say it tickled? Maybe it was just like a little pinch. I said, ooh, maybe it tickles you. All right, a little ooh. I don't know what noise you make when you tickle. It's none of my business. But, it may not be earth shattering. It may be a good reminder. It may be a seed. And I don't want you guys to get too carried away thinking everything has to make you cry and rethink your life. Some things may just be a seed. You're going to hold on to it. And then a time's going to come up and you're going to be like, whoa, I'm glad I listened to that episode. And that's why this should be a daily routine for you guys. Okay? I'm giving you small bite sizes and these will add up. I promise you, boo-boo. I promise you. So again, there's a few different ways I could have packaged it. I want to talk in the direction of clutter. All right? And this principle is, although mise en place is a little bit different, it's kind of the same. And that's where I was first introduced to this idea of like really removing clutter in my life. So let's talk about that. I first learned about mise en place in a book. I can't remember the name of the book right now. I wish I could. I'm sorry. But it was recommended to me, I believe, by Mrs. Melanie. So if you're part of the Creator family as a student, you should know Melanie. She's the head of all of our coaches. And she's awesome. She's a superhero, and she loves to read. So she's always putting me on the game with, some good books. And so I think this was I can't remember the book. If enough of y'all care, bother me, and I'll say it in a future episode. But essentially, the book was following cooks, chefs in like really big high-end kitchens, or just kitchens where there's a high demand and a lot going on. And it talks about just how crazy of a game that is, first off, and the levels that they got to go to mentally to be able to perform at the level that they do. And especially if you're a head chef and you lead a team of chefs. Hold on one sec. I'm sorry, y'all. I had to take a call, so I have my phone set up when I'm recording so that only the calls that can come through are calls that need to come through. And that was my mom, who's got the kids right now. My son. All right, I'm gonna just tell y'all about my life. You came here for this Mise plus, and you got pause in the middle of it. But y'all can know, y'all get a little bit of insight on my life. So my son just turned 1 last month. He had some peanut butter for the first time, and he started kind of breaking out, and his eyes swelled up, and like, I don't know, it made me sad. It was just a bad time, man. Right? And so we're working through all of that and figuring out his allergies and how deep it is. His like throat didn't close up or anything, but none of my other kids have had any issues. I love me some peanut butter, and the kids are at my mom's, and they really wanted peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. My mom was like, "Hold up, let me call in, see how this works." I said, "There ain't no peanut butter going down." No, I didn't say that, but I was like, "Yeah, we're still figuring a lot out. Let's just hold on that. How about a ham sandwich? How about that?" So, very, very important call. I'm sorry, but back to Mise en place. All right, these chefs. Reading this book will make you want to be a chef, first off, but it's not just about that. It's just about the principles that they gotta have, that they adopt to be effective, and how these same principles can help us in our life or even our business. And mise en place is the idea of preparing all of the ingredients and everything you're gonna cook with before you actually start cooking. And depending on the chef and the location and who they're serving, right? And I'm going to do a bad job of, it's been years since I've read this, and I'm not a chef. I'm not that good at cooking. I can't talk the talk of all things chef, but the principle still stuck with me. And so it's the idea of getting prepared. And so for you cooking at home, that might just be getting all your seasoning, measuring it just before you cook, instead of being in the motion of cooking, and then you got to go in the cupboard and then dash a little bit of here and sprinkle and then measure, and then it can get like real messy and unorganized, and it increases the opportunity for mistakes and chaos to break out. And it's the same with some of these big restaurants that have a lot of chefs going. Sometimes they'll prepare their stuff the night before or the morning of. Like, first thing they do is they get prepared. And part of this is removing clutter, not only when you get started, but just making the process smoother. And so this is where I was first introduced to this. In Mise en place, it goes a little bit deeper in some of the principles and lessons from that, go off into some other directions that we'll definitely talk about in a future episode. But where we're going to park here is just that idea of reducing clutter. Because man, oh man, when you start to understand this, it accelerates a lot of things in your life. Because like I said, it's also just an idea of simplicity. And I thought that I was kind of adopting these changes just because I was getting older. I was like, man, I'm getting old. I really, like, me and my wife were talking not too long ago about getting a new vacuum, and that fired me up. I was like, yes, I would love a new vacuum. And I was researching, trying to get the best vacuum possible. And I was like, man, I'm getting old. And part of that is, but it's not like something happens when you turn 30 and it's just, your brain switches over. It's just, you get exposed to new things, you learn new things, you're put in different situations, you have different priorities, right? As you're building a family and a career and whatnot. So typically, as you get older, a lot of that happens naturally because of the situations you're in, and you're adapting and growing. But don't get confused. If you're young, listening to some of this stuff, you can still be an old fool if you don't do nothing. Now, it ain't going to happen to no one here because you're locked in. You're a creator. But, and I'm going on a side rant there, but like the guy I am today, I can't stand dirty rooms. I can't stand a dirty desk. And this is so night and day from how I used to be. My personality was all grind. I'm focused on that. I didn't even care that my room was dirty, that my desk was dirty, my desktop was cluttered. I would have thousands and thousands of unread emails. Like, my life is just chaotic. And sometimes my wife would just look at me. She'd be like, yo, I just sit there and watched you walk past your pants that are on the floor like 8 times. Didn't nothing tell you to pick those up and put them away? And I'm like, I'm sorry. I just didn't care. And I just thought that was part of my personality. I thought that was the way that I would always be because I knew people like that. But once I learned this, I couldn't go back. So much more productive, so much more peace. And it's funny, I'll maybe go to the desk of someone else and I'll see what their desktop looks like, and it'll give me anxiety. I'm like, you got 48 files and 92 folders on your desktop. And yeah, but I know where it is. You know, I could just go here. I get that. That's cool. I was kind of the same way. But if you give this a try, oh my Lord. Some of y'all, you're like, yo, my relationships in general are just stressful. Well, let's look at it. Maybe your relationships look like your desktop. You got 8 dudes you're kind of talking to, 4 that's halfway there, but not really, 2 that's bad for you, but you like, nah, they cute. And it's like, well, no wonder you're stressed the fluff out. Maybe, fellas, if you ain't hollering at 12 girls, you wouldn't be as stressed out. You got clutter. Okay? And I found this quote that I really like. Couldn't find who it was by, but this is going to be our principle for today. We're just getting to it. I had to set the foundation of mise en place. So the principle is clutter is nothing more than postponed decisions. Ooh, let's run that back one more time with the beat. Clutter is nothing more than postponed decisions. And that's where a lot of the clutter from the desktop or the desk can carry over to emotional stress. Maybe you're just anxious. You don't even know why. It's because you have open loops all around you, and they're constantly just running and driving you crazy. And the best way to kill these loops is to make a decision. Okay? Even if, and here's the power of this, even if you just make a decision to handle it later. Not in the sense of like, okay, I'll do it. Like, not saying, all right, I'm just going to postpone or I'm going to procrastinate on doing my homework. No, you can say, I'm not going to stress about this right now because I'm out with my girlfriend. But I will do my homework tomorrow at 5 p.m. That is making a decision to do it later, and you have a specific time. You're going to lock in it like it's in your schedule. That's fine. You can do that. Okay? And when you can expand that across the 4 dimensions of this game that we call life, you notice more peace, less chaos, more control in your life. Some of you guys have so many opportunities around you, so much love around you, so much abundance around you, but you can't find it. It's right under your nose, but you can't find it because your life is so cluttered. So one more time, the principle, clutter is nothing more than postponed decisions. My bad. That was just sloppy. That was, see, I'm cluttering up the beat. I tried to do it real slick too. I usually like to say the principle and then transition, but I still had the other beat running. Try to do. All right, let's try that again. Clutter is nothing more than postponed decisions. I don't know if you got lost on the internet. You thought you was listening to a professional podcast. Nope. I'm sorry. Welcome to the Creator Podcast. We may not be professional. We ain't cluttered around here, though. I'll tell you that. You know what? Let's do an on-the-spot check. Let's look. So I have my desktop in front of me. I have no like random files out. I have 3 folders on my desktop. My recycle bin, which is empty. And I do have 1 file like right next to it, but that file needs to be there. And it won't be there much longer. And so I got 3 folders, okay, and an empty recycle bin. That was not the old me. Oh, and I also have my creator code on both of my monitors that I can see, which you can get for free if you go to freecreatorcode.com. Print it out. Put it on your wall, put it on your desktop. Now, as I go to my email, I have 4 emails. I have 4 unread emails. I don't believe I checked my email in the last 2 days. That's crazy, y'all. That's crazy. And how did I get there? I just had to start removing the clutter. You know what I would do? I was subscribed to so many lists. Actually, so here's what was crazy. One of my emails got so bad, I was like, I got to make a new one. It's too far gone. 14,000 unread emails. I'm like, bruh, I'm subscribed to everything. I don't even know how I got subscribed. I'm getting emails for like a monkey trampoline. I'm like, Ninja, I don't even own a monkey. I'm lying about that. But like, that's how random the emails would be. Like, what? And so I got a new email, and I did the exact same thing with that email. And I was like, you know what? Enough's enough. I got to clean it up. And so I would just say 10 times a day. Or every time I would get on to check my email, I would unsubscribe from just 10. And there was a bunch of them, so I would just unsubscribe. And finally, I got down to it. 4 for not checking in a few days is actually really, really good. It's usually more than that when I will check, but it's nothing crazy, right? If I go a week and I had to set up we got to talk about that too in lifestyle design, but I've set my life up so that I don't have to check email very, very often. And the places that do have urgent things, they're monitored by someone on my team, and they let me know. But I just had to set it up because it was ruining my life, man. I'd spend half my day on email. But that's a whole nother podcast. But I just had to just slowly unsubscribe. And finally, I got to a place where and this is like my entire email, not like, you have the promotions or the updates or whatever that I can't see what that is because I don't even have that on. I just have an inbox. All of it goes in there. And it's nice and tidy. And boy, does this change the game, man. You want to talk about having more mental peace, more clarity, more energy. Like, have you ever just walked into a dirty room or gotten a dirty car or whatever, and it just drags the energy out your soul? See, I used to be that guy. I just wouldn't notice. And now I can't go back because it raised my game so much. But this applies everywhere. Bring the beat back. Okay? So we're in the portion that we call putting some feet to it. We got to put this in action. So, first we got to pull out our creator frame, scan the 4 dimensions of this game that we call life. We have our faith, relationships, energy, and economics. Where do you have clutter? Okay? Where is the clutter at? And we can talk emotional, mental, spiritual, physical clutter. Maybe you need to start at your desk. Clear that up. Clean your room, clean your house, clean your garage, whatever it may be. Right? And we're all human. And you'll find places where you may have already cleared it and it finds its way to sneak its way back. And that's why we have a lot of people in our creator movement that take the purge on a regular, sometimes quarterly basis. Because what we do there is we get a lot of the clutter out. It's like a vacuum that goes in and just gets it out your life. Let's see how many. Another place you might have clutter. My contacts. It doesn't tell you a total number. I can do one little mini swipe on my phone. I'm going to count it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. 19. Oh, and I even see one I can take off. 18 contacts in my phone. At one point, it was probably a couple hundred. I had numbers for everybody. And I just noticed, and I'm telling you, get some of these apps off your phone. Get some of these people out your life. Get some of the food out your refrigerator. Simplify things. But here's what it's going to take for you to do that. You might have to make some tough decisions. And you've been avoiding these tough decisions. That's why it's cluttered. Because remember, clutter is nothing more than postponed decisions. Some of your guys' relationship status is a little too cluttered because you scared. Make a decision, people. Some of you guys, your health situation, Your body fat is a little cluttered. Why? Because you scared to make the decisions, man. Go through your desktop. Make some decisions. Delete some things. Right-click, delete some things out your life. I promise you, you'll love it. Also, check out freecreatorcode.com. I love you guys. Stay safe. And until next time, God first. God bless.